Hey, welcome everyone to another live streaming edition of Anime Talk. Thank you for joining us once again. This is Joe Animated. I'm joined by a special guest tonight because Aero couldn't make it. Go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Mr. Flaw Finder. I run the anime blog Staying on My Neck and God dang Pikachu, down boy. Anyways, I run the anime blog Staying on My Neck. That blog you guys all want to that blog you guys all want to kill because I blog about Chinese pornographic cartoons and yeah, that's all the introduction you're getting from me today. Let's get this started.
Yeah, so it is the beginning of another new season. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got news, reviews, and comments. So you're right, let's get this show going. So first up, let's do some quick hit news. Mr. Flawfinder, Makoto Shinkai hosting a new movie in Australia.
Yeah, Makoto Shinkai is hosting that new movie, The Garden of Words, in Australia, and if you've seen the preview, you know what you're going to get. It's beautiful animation, love story, all that good stuff. Hopefully it's a bit of a different story than what he's been dishing out so far. Although from what I've heard, it's more in the same vein of 5 centimeters per second and all that. So yeah, Shinkai fans, unless you live in Australia, sorry for you.
Next up, Aniplex is bringing back Gurren Lagann. It just came out this week. Not a New Year, not an April Fool's joke. But if I remember right, the price was pretty darn expensive. Like they wanted quite a bit for that box set. Do you remember? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I apologize. I should have that number in front of me, but they wanted quite a bit for it.
Yeah, I can't remember the price either. I remember looking at it because I thought maybe I would get it myself, but I just remembered it being too high for something that I'm not the biggest fan of.
Well, that and it's been on Netflix, and it's been subbed and dubbed for a while now. So it makes you just wonder, is this just another ploy to drum up more cash because it has been a while? Or is it actually going to bring any new content? You know? But it is what it is. If people haven't seen Gurren Lagann before and you want to catch the latest and greatest release of it, have at it, guys. So I'm trying to remember if there's anything. Sorry, I'm going to double check before we move on to make sure there was nothing new about it. No, it's a multi-disc box set with graphics, stickers. Let's see, it's 27, all 27 episodes. It comes with a double-sided poster, 12 postcard set, 2 stickers, so on and so forth. It's it's only retailing at $140. So it's not terribly that expensive. That was for the DVD set. The Blu-ray set, though, is $550. And it comes with a few more extra little bits and pieces. Yeah, it's that $500 that kind of kills me. I think that's a bit much.
A bit.
A bit. Well, the standard retail price is $670. They say the store price is $550. I don't know. Yeah, that's all available on Right Stuff if you're looking for it. And then Funimation at SoccerCon made some new announcements, made some previous announcements. So it looks like Mine Fujiko is coming out for the summer of 2013. No exact date. Black Lagoon, Roberta's Blood Trail OVA slated for later this summer, and the English dub will premiere next May. Sankareya is coming out fall of 2013. Haganai Season 1 is slated for the end of this year, and the only confirmed release is a DVD, no Blu-ray. Future Diary, Mirai Nikki, is slated for summer 2013, but no cast announcement yet. What else we got here? Oh, the Psycho Pass dub, currently slated for spring of 2014 in a DVD Blu-ray combo pack, which should be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward more to that. That seems to be a really quick turnaround for that show, so they're hoping for some good. I think they're expecting a pretty good sale from that impression.
You know, I'm going to be buying it. I really dug Psycho Pass and most of the shows you mentioned. I'm especially looking forward to Black Lagoon Roberta's Blood Trail because I've been waiting for an English dub of that for a long time. What language have you watched Black Lagoon?
I have not. It's on. I have. It's one of my things I've downloaded, and I just have not made it through yet.
Okay. I That's one of those shows where I can't watch it in Japanese because the settings in Thailand, it's a bunch of mixed races, and the official language they speak is English. And it just doesn't make sense for a bunch of people living there to speak Japanese, especially when they state like in one arc that they don't know Japanese.
I don't know. It is what it is. Well, it's like what was it? Watching. Oh gosh, my mind's. Oh, Total Eclipse, right? The last anime. There was only 2 or 3 characters in there that were actually Japanese. Everybody else was from other countries that they all spoke Japanese. You know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. You get suspension of disbelief, right?
Yeah.
And then the biggest news from today. Doo-doo-doo. KyoAni has a new show. Yay. Sorta, kinda, I guess, maybe sorta. So they have a new anime based on the light novel in English known as Beyond the Boundary. I know nothing about this show, so I'm kind of at a loss. You have any thoughts on it?
Well, on the one hand, I'm glad for it because as much as I enjoyed Hyoka, and I kind of think that was like the limit to what KyoAni could do with those slice of life stuff, and that they need to branch into other territory now. And dark fantasy sounds like a good choice. And I saw this commercial like a year ago, and I really liked what I saw, and it really seemed it. I was surprised when I found out that they wrote this novel, yet they haven't turned this into an anime. Instead, they turned Chinibyo into an anime, which was their second ranked light novel of from them. Like there's this light novel contest. I can't quite remember the details of it, but yeah, I think Kyokai no Kanto won first place and Chinibyo won second, and yet they decided to adapt Chinibyo first, and I was just confused.
Well, they didn't even do a like for like adaptation of Chuni. They kind of inserted their own characters. It was a much different than the light novel adaptation.
Yeah, that's what I expect from this one too, to be honest, because I don't really know. I never actually read the light novel, obviously, but it doesn't really. It sounded. I don't know. I should hold my thoughts.
So from the synopsis, it's a thriller, mystical. I don't know what you want to call it. I had the right word for it in my head. It's
dark fantasy.
It's a fantasy setting. Boy saves girl, and then girl, because girl's in trouble, and then the boy gets drawn into the girl's trouble. So it'll have romance, it'll have fantasy. Hopefully, it'll have some action, some death, despair. Who knows?
Yeah, basically something that's not one of their moe slice of life stuff.
Yes, please.
But yes.
So
but on the other hand,
I was going to say one of the greatest quotes I ever saw was, KyoAni doesn't necessarily make the best anime. Or here, I'll find it. Here, finish your thought. Let me find that quote, and then we'll go from there. It was great. I have it saved here just for this moment.
Okay, well, the thing is, this isn't exactly the first time KyoAni's done fantasy. There's this thing they did called Munto that I doubt many of you even remember because it never gets mentioned anywhere. And to be honest, there's a reason. The fact that it's not very good. Munto is basically about. I don't know how to describe it. It's basically about some supernatural, some other world with demons and stuff interacting with the real world, and I think my reasons for disliking it is, I think my reasons for disliking it are different from what other people did, what other people disliked it. Like, I don't really know why. I think they said it was because it was rushed or something, which I didn't have much of a problem with. My problem was what I started paying attention to the dialogue around episode 3, and oh God, the dialogue was horrible.
I've
It
never
was,
seen it, so I wouldn't know. So,
yeah.
my final thought on the Kiwani. Kiwani anime may not always be the best anime in the world, but it is incomparably the best dull anime. And I saw somebody quoted that on Twitter, and he's like, you know what? I can 100% agree with that.
Eh.
So what else we got here? Spring 2013... I can't even talk tonight. Spring 2013 season started essentially today. Today was the first day where we got a good taste of some of the more anticipated shows. Because coming out on Thursdays in Japan, we have... let me get this right here. Dansai Bunari, no Crime Edge, the haircutting anime. We get Majestic Prince. Carnival came out today. So we've got a lot of good shows. Now the first one to probably get fan sub will be Dansai Bunari no Crime Edge, the haircutting anime. But let's look at what our most anticipated, least excited, and what we think our sleeper hits are going to be. Sound good?
Yep.
So let's do this. So our most anticipated shows. So Flawfinder, you chose Aku no Hana, which I found to be an interesting choice.
Well, yeah, Aku no Hana. That's one of those. That's one of those anime. I mean, I read some of the manga, and it was really, really creepy. And it's basically, I don't want to give too much away, but basically, those who watch it, you are going to be shocked. I actually want to see you guys' reaction to it, because if you do not react the same way or even more than I did when I saw this, you have balls, guys. You really have balls. And
so I was going to say, on that note, the guys at Anime Audiolog were saying this kind of stuff, so I've purposely held back reading the manga so I can be surprised.
And at first I was disappointed because I heard it was Zex, the studio who was doing this one, and Zex have not been very good at releasing stuff. But then I found out that it was the director of Mushishi and Detroit Metal City who was doing this, and I was like, oh really? That guy? He's a pretty talented dude.
I mean, I would think that the style of Mushishi will play into this, building that drama, that dialogue. I'm hoping that, because the director's got some talent. Hopefully he applies it.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, it's more than that. It's the fact that Mushishi and Detroit Mill City were both radically different shows, and yet he did a good job on both of them. So he has versatility as well as
That's
talent.
True.
Yeah.
And then I chose Attack on Titan. I think the manga's received quite a bit of acclaim. I'm just hoping that the anime adaptation can continue to amaze and delight those of us that have read the manga. So it's my most anticipated, because I want to see this great manga, or this really enjoyable manga, be adapted in a way that's still enjoyable and not just get botched.
Yeah, it's the guy it's Tetsuro Araki, the guy who directed Death Note and Guilty Crown and High School of the Dead. That's doing this, right?
Yes.
He's talented visually, so as long as he's given some good writing material, which I heard what Attack on Titan is, it should be good.
Yeah, he's got good source. Let's just make it look good and let it run.
Yeah.
All right, so our least excited shows. To be honest, it was hard to choose just one. I could go through quite a bit. But let's pull those up here. I put Photo Kano. You put Data Live.
Yep.
And I can't, to be honest, I could put 2 or 3 more. Though both those shows for me are definitely non-anticipatory. Did you see the Data Live pre-air?
I lasted 2 minutes into that.
It was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
God, when even the camera, the quality was so bad that I couldn't even get mad at the anime itself. Like it wasn't even that bad on the Red Data Girl pre-air. Like the pre-air for Data Live was atrocious.
I mean, both visually and just plot-wise, it was absolutely terrible.
I think I got over to when the girl was showing her panties, which was also at the point in the original manga where I was like, okay, this sucks. Turn
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, absolutely, just flat out terrible. And I chose Photokano because I am going to compare this to Amagami. I just don't do dating sim stuff. Like, I'm not a big fan of the dating sim adaptations at all. You know? I think they're just flops.
Yeah, yeah. The problem with dating sims is like the concept works in the concept works in like video games, but it's it's almost impossible to make that translate that well in like visual form in anime.
Yeah, it's just any sort of game adaptations for me. I'm just not. I think the only game adaptation I enjoyed watching was Persona 4. And even then, it was just average. I didn't think it was great, and so and then you had a dating sim adaptation. It's just, it's just not what I'm.
Yeah, the thing with those dating sim adaptations is that I could see them working okay if they were I don't know, just chose one girl, ignored the rest, and just stuck with that.
Which I think with the short, because Photokano is only 12 episodes, right? Maybe 13. They're going to have to do probably that. They're going to have to pick one route and conquer.
The problem is they're probably going to introduce other girls, and it's going to ruin the entire thing. Yeah, because I'm not a fan of those white knight harem-like stuff, and that's what a lot of dating sims adaptations come off as, because they try to please all the fans, and it just doesn't work very well.
Yeah, so I'm giving a big shrug my shoulders to Photokano, and Data Live definitely is garbage. It's just garbage.
Yeah, even when I finally checked out I looked at the manga and saw what I missed, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't see this animated.
See, and somebody's commenting, I think Photokano does well. I think it will have its followers. I'm not saying that. It's just not a show I'm excited for. I think it'll have plenty of people in Mal that like it because, to be honest, Mal has questionable taste.
I'm actually hoping for that because it's on my FAL roster as well.
I don't think you guys will be disappointed in that. I just don't think it'll be that enjoyable to watch. All right, sleeper hit.
Mm-hmm.
I actually put in Crime Edge, and you put in Valvrave the Liberator. I almost said something else there. But so why did you choose Valvrave?
Well, Valvrave the Liberator, first of all, it's a Sunrise mecha, and it's about time that they've had... Maybe this will be another big hit. I mean, Sunrise has been a bit hit and miss with me, and with the general audience, but they're like the guys to go to. Like when they do mecha, or when they do like an interesting concept, it usually it has a good chance of getting like a big hit. Of being big. I know Sacred 7 sucked, but
I mean, it's Sunrise doing what they do best, which is mecha and space.
Yeah.
It's not Gundam, which is a chance, right?
Yeah.
Because they're also doing another mecha show this season that sounds a lot like Gundam.
Which one is that?
Oh, I have to go back and listen to my own podcast. But I think I think it's Sunrise doing something non-Gundam, but it is basically mecha and space. I think they'll do fine. If they keep it original, keep it fresh. It's only one core, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's one core.
So they don't have time to screw around. Just stay focused. Keep at it. I think it'll do fine. And then I chose Crime Edge. You know, after reading kind of the plot and talking with some of the other writers at Anime Audiolog, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be one people didn't expect to like that they'll actually like.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, like I said, I haven't read any of the manga yet. I haven't done any of the back research other than just kind of looking at some previews and synopsis. So I think that's one that... And I'll probably be completely wrong on this, but I'm choosing that one as my sleeper hit. I think that one's going to be... I think it's going to be the one people are going to want to watch in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have seen some reactions to Crime Edge, and they've been...
It's been mixed. Yeah. Well, when I made this, nothing had been come out yet, so we hadn't had a chance to see some first impressions. Mm-hmm. But you know what? It's a show I think it's going to be worth doing a 3-episode test for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully, Valvrave the Liberator turns out good as well, and yeah, hope it doesn't turn into goddamn Sacred 7. Seriously, why?
Oh, I know. So, in general, then, what show do you think will be the biggest flop? The one people are excited about that just won't hold up.
The one people are excited about that won't hold up. If I had to choose, it would probably be the Devil Survivor 2 anime.
Really?
N- that's no, that's just because the one that's the closest I can think to be. That's the closest I can think of, really, because I can't think of anything that people are excited for that would flop. And Seiji Kishi mixed with video game adaptation. I mean, Persona 4 didn't flop, but it. I mean, okay. Are we talking about like in flop in sales or flop in like audience
Like,
reaction?
audience reaction.
Hmm. Well, yeah. And get. I mean, I can't. That's like the closest thing I can think of, to tell you the truth. That's why I picked that, because Red Data Girl has already been out for a while, and most people have given up on that. So
Oh, yeah, that already,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not into that.
Yeah, so yeah, most people aren't watching that one. So that Devil Survivor 2 is like the only thing that I can come to mind, to tell you the truth.
I'm kind of hoping the two fan service shows just botch their adaptations. Orimo and Railgun, just to kind of put, because Railgun really deviated quite a bit from the manga and went all fan servicey with a bunch of Yuri crap.
Ugh.
So
Is the manga really that different?
yeah, it's not about a little girl who magically teleports herself naked in front of people. No, it's not. So, it's my opinion, though. I hope it's. I don't know. I just want to see. Oh, I know what the other. Oh no, they're doing Gundam Seed. Never mind. But yeah, yeah, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the category of things you think will flop, not things you hope will flop.
Yeah, that's
Because-
true. True. Things I think will flop. Yeah, those two are going to be consistent. People will watch them.
Yep.
Sorry, Valvrave was the original. Oh, that's right. They're redoing Katanagari. I forgot about that. Unfortunately, as much as I want to see Gargantia, I have a terrible feeling it's going to fail. Like, I'm
Yeah.
hoping for the best, but I have this, like, I don't know. In the back of my head, I have this horrible thought it's just going to choke. And I don't want it to.
Yeah, I have seen people expressing that Urobuchi has been getting old recently with Psychopaths.
Yeah.
And yeah, even I thought that ending was starting to like lose me a bit, but even though I still thought it was decent, but yeah. Yeah, Gargantia. I'm pretty mixed on that too. I'm
excited for it, but just scared all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, and same thing with me with Devil Survivor 2, especially because I have no idea how that would turn out. How many of those awkward comedic moments that Seiji Kishi always puts in his stuff are going to be in there,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's going to be. I'm going to watch those, but I've got reservations.
All right, so let's play a game. We're going to play over-under. So, for those of you that are regulars on the show, you already know what we're doing, but for those who not, what we'll do is we'll have 4 shows here. Above those 4 shows, we have what we assume that their end-of-season MAL score will be. So you can see we have Carnival, Photokano, Attack on Titan, and Gargantia, and we have MAL scores above them. So what Flawfinder and I are going to do is say, will the MAL score be above? Now, these are just guesses, right? Will the MAL score be above or below that value? So we're ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to put our first 2 arrows up here. So for Carnival, I have a 7.8, which is pretty reasonable by MAL standards.
Mm-hmm.
But both of us, we both say it's going to be below that. What are your thoughts? Why do you say below a 7.8?
Well, first of all, it's Mangalobe who's doing this, right?
Yes.
Mangalobe anime, like even with Bishies, Mangalobe have not scored. I don't think I've seen a Mangalobe anime that scored all that well. It they always fail. Nobody likes
Now,
them because
Mangalobe did Kaminami.
uh they did.
Yeah. Didn't they?
Uh,
That was my impression.
hmm.
I'll look that up while you're talking.
Oh right, the world. Oh right, the world God only knows. Right. I
Yes, the world God only knows. They did that. That's not a complete flop.
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about those. But the thing, I just don't. I mean, this has hot bishies and all that, but I don't. I just don't see this go. I mean, it's definitely going to have fangirls and all, but uh, I never really heard of, unlike Kaminami, I've never really heard about this manga. And I or whatever source material it's based on, I just do not see this thing scoring that high with anybody in general.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind on this, it's a Josei manga. So I think you're going to end up with a lot of boy love angles in there, or boy shipping, which I think is going to catch those who haven't been paying attention by surprise. So that's why I'm rating it below 7.8. I think there's going to be people who watch it, realize, I don't ship boys, and it's going to drop. Does that make sense? I just don't. I think it's gonna have a very particular niche crowd in the end, and that's just not going to be a very big crowd.
Yep.
Okay, Photokano 7.5, which by Mal standards is pretty low. So high or low on this one? You think it's going to drop even? You think it's going to be even farther down than a 7.5, which is, I don't know, why lower than a 7.5?
Well, it's just that I mean I know this is Madhouse and all, but I just don't. It's just that dating sims these days they've grown really tired by now, and I don't think. And I know, and as much and as shitty as Mao's taste has been, I just don't see them getting attracted to this one very much. I mean, I looked at the people who are planning to watch this. It wasn't all that high, despite the fact that I'm hoping that it would, but that's different reasons. And I don't know. There's just nothing that seems to be original about it besides a guy with a camera. And I just really hope Mao has better standards than that. So yeah, that's pretty much why I think it's going to drop down even lower, that low, even by Mao standards. So, why do you think it's going to be high?
Because it's a shipping show. It's that kind of show that appeals to a particular crowd, and I think that crowd will vote it. I think they'll vote it up. I don't know. Somebody's commenting the fact that 7.5 is considered low on a Mal score. You take a look at even Sasami-san last season didn't even drop below a 7, and people hated it. So, I mean, I consider 7.5 on low a Mal because Mal doesn't rate things that low. But that's another talk for another day. So I'm saying I think it'll be right above 7.5. I think it'll be between 7.5 and 7.75. But it's not even gonna broach the 8 mark. Not even by a long shot.
Heck no.
Okay, next up, Attack on Titan. I gave it an 8, or I put down an 8, but I'm giving it less than an 8. You're saying it's going to go above an 8. So I'll go first here. I think it would be an enjoyable anime, but I don't think people will appreciate it and rate it high enough to keep it above an 8. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But honestly though, with all the hype behind it, I just don't see how this is not going to score high. I mean, I've seen hype shows that have failed that have failed with the current audience that still score or at least with audience members I've seen, that still score really high because they have this like really huge cult following, and it seems like Attack on Titan has a huge cult following.
You can say Sword Art Online. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. But
That's the kind of cult following we're kind of come up against
yeah.
on this one.
Oh yeah, yeah. But Sword Art Online was like, yeah. I was going to tell you, did Guilty Crown rank above 8? I can't remember because that one got like quite a lot of fans
Yeah.
behind it.
So I think I'm going to be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's better than an 8. But I just have a feeling the right people that'll. Oh, somebody's mentioning that Sasami-san actually reached 6.9 in the end. So my bad. At one point I know it was really low 7s. So it is possible for a show to drop below 7. So anyways, back to Attack on Titan. I hope it'll stay above an 8. That's my goal. I want it to be something that sticks around, that's done well enough to deserve that. It's another one of those ones where I'm apprehensive, you know?
Hmm.
So last but not least, Gargantia, 7.6. The one we both have our reservations about. And we're giving it a 2 thumbs up.
Heck yeah.
I have to agree. I think even though Psycho Pass ended on an awkward note, I think this show will manage to pull it out. I think we'll see a higher score, hopefully closer to 8. I hope it takes off. I hope people love it. It's got a good premise. It looks like it's got a good cast of characters. I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, me too. Is Psychopaths the lowest rated score Urabuchi show on MAL? Like Mathematica and Fate Zero scored higher than that.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see Gargantia dropping due to people getting tired of him, but I don't see it scoring below a 7.6 because that's pretty low. I
It
mean,
is.
yeah,
It's pretty low.
yeah. Sasami really surprised me when it turned out that MAL hated it because I thought the fans drank the Shinbo Kool-Aid, uh, but yeah, it's Gargantia's. No, I just don't see that going scoring. I mean, I'd be surprised if it scored lower than an 8 in particular.
Yeah. So, in kind of the same vein, then, what show do you think will rate the highest this
Of
out of the new non-season 2 shows this season?
Attack on Titan.
You think it'll be the highest?
Yeah. After
You,
all,
you don't think
I,
it'll be one of the one of the harem comedies?
well, there's. I mean, yeah, I know hentai OG and which I don't know if that's harem comedy or date I have no idea about what Data Live is are popular and all, but man, let's just say there's a reason that for this season's FAL, everybody said yes, pick Attack on Titan. If you do not pick this, you are a loser. You are going to lose. Yeah. So and that's pretty much why I think Attack on Titan is going to be rated the highest. I'm not going to say it's going to be my favorite or it's going to be the favorite of everybody, like in general among the anti-blogging community, but by MAL standards, it's probably going to score. I'd be surprised if like Hentai OG or even Gargantia surpassed it.
I'll have to agree. I'm pretty. It's going to be hard for anything else to get that high unless it really steps up. Because like Valve Rave's an original plot. We've got a lot of season 2s out there. Red Data Girl just looks like a choke fest unless it pulls a really big twist. Yeah, Hentai OG. No, I mean it's a light novel with a lot of following, but I don't see it stepping up very high. So should be interesting. So, final thoughts. First, let's go back through some of our comments back here. Oh, Guilty Crown managed to end at a 7.85 right now on Mal.
Hmm. Yeah, that's. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know if I have to say that's high for Mal or low for Mal. I mean, yeah. Guilty Crown.
What else? We had a comment. The fact that 7.5 is considered low on Mal is hilariously absurd. We could talk on that all day.
Yeah, I know. Didn't you already read that comment?
Did I? Sorry. And then somebody had to make the comment, Josai does not necessarily equal yaoi. I agree with that, but when all of the promo material only shows 4 guys, maybe I think I've only seen one picture that involved somebody of the opposite gender. You're kind of implying it's a bunch of boy-on-boy shipping one way or another. So, 3 guys and a girl in this last picture. You're kind of implying that it's either a reverse harem or there's some yaoi tendencies there. So I'll just leave it at that. How about that? How about we go reverse harem? At the very least. Alright, so final thoughts. You ready for the spring season?
Hell yeah, I'm ready for the spring season. I'm especially since this last season has been so. I mean, this last winter season has been pretty bad. I mean, beside the carryovers, there wasn't many things that really stood out.
It was pretty bland.
Yeah. I mean, there are a bunch of watchable shows, but nothing that like I get unless you want to count. Well, actually, no. I don't think anyone counts Little Witch Academia as winter season. I think that's spring season.
True.
That one. Mm-hmm. Oh, and for all you Makoto Shinkai fans, I forgot to mention that the Blu-ray and DVD release will be on June 21st, and it will contain English subtitles, so you're going to be seeing it quite soon, most likely. So yeah, aside from that, nothing else to say except tomorrow is going to be a busy day.
It is. I was looking at the release schedule for a lot of shows. I think Sundays are really going to be my day.
Sunday, huh? What airs on Sunday?
So Sunday, well, minus Date Alive, we're not even going there. Attack on Titan.
Oh.
You have Hunter x Hunter, Space Battleship Yamato, Gargantia.
That airs on Sunday?
Yep. Late in the day on Sundays.
Yikes.
So
yeah.
I'm pretty happy. Let's see. I'm looking at the Saturday schedule. You still got JoJo's Adventure.
But that ends like that's like the last episode.
True,
yeah.
that ends this week. Red Data Girl, who gives a crap. That's about it on Saturdays. Yeah. Fridays aren't bad either because you have Photokano, Devil Survivor, Akunohana, and then you got Samurai Girl Season 2.
Isn't Devil Survivor on Thursday?
It's listed here as being on a Friday. I'm guessing right after the turn of the midnight.
Right, I see.
Based on the timing here.
This season it looks like all the shows are pushed towards the weekend. There's nothing like I don't know what's airing on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Nothing. Monday is nothing we watch. Tuesday is Kongatari, Arata Kongatari, but I don't think anybody's watching that. Wednesdays, Sparrow's Hotel.
Sparrow's Hotel?
First episode comes out next week.
I see. Yeah.
That's the one with the big booby front desk girl that who knows what's going on there.
Yeah, all you need to say is big booby front desk girl and my interest just died.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the spring season. There's a lot of cool stuff. Lots of mecha shows for those that are mecha fans. So I think it is going to be a great start to the year. I think summer is going to have a lot of blockbusters, but I think spring is going to set the table.
Yeah, summer's got a lot of interesting titles, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me tonight. I have some quick announcements. We have a logo contest going on. We have 2 entries. You can see them there on the page. Entry 1 on the left, entry 2 on the right. Stop by the blog, vote for your favorite entry. The winner of the contest will have their logo featured at the top of the site. In addition, they will be getting a $20 Amazon gift card, courtesy of me, as a thank you for taking the time. Also, speaking of the spring season, we have our Spring 2013 Preview podcast. Go to the site. We have an overall podcast, and as you go through each show, you can listen to a soundbite of our opinion for each show. Try to break it up, give you some variety there. Go check it out. We've got some fun stuff in there. We had a good time recording it, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Other than that, you can go to our main site, animeaudiolog.wordpress.com. Podcast, we have podcast feeds for this show, for On the Clock, and other stuff, found at iTunes. You can find our videos, youtube.com/me, Joe Animated. And if you're interested in being on the show like Mr. Flawfinder is, being a guest as fill-in, animeaudiolog@gmail.com. Anything else?
No. I'm just glad you allowed me to co-host with you, Joe, and I look forward to maybe if Aero takes another vacation and no one else wants to, I can do it again. Or if you take a vacation and I'll co-host with Aero.
Now, typically, I don't get vacations. My work sends me places, and it's quite frustrating. Trying to stay stable, and it's hard to be stable when you're constantly on a plane. But guys, check us out. Appreciate you for stopping by on Tuesday. Come find us on the blog. Check out the stuff. And until next week.
See you guys.